Whilst I navigate to our next study, I would like to remind you that this was the last study group of galaxies. The NGC 5049 was the very last one to be seen in the NGC 5000 to 5049 series. And we are about to push on to northies first. So anything above 40 degrees, we're going to capture first and 30 and then possibly 20s before going in NGC sequence. Time now is 10:05. It's the 11th of May, 2026. The sky looks quite good. Leo the Lion is well defined. There were high thin clouds earlier. They're probably still there, but we are getting some pretty deep views this evening. The moon is well out of the picture, isn't expected for several more days to go new. Our first study in the NGC 5050 to 5099 series, we're doing northies first because the scope is going to start having issues with the roof try, is a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 8.6, 12.6, 7.5 arc minutes, bar with lowercase bc, very Milky Way-esque. In terms of its size, is comparable. 24 million light years distance, or maybe 90,000 light years in diameter. So we may very well be looking at our own galaxy in reflection, so to speak. RA is 131549 with a declination of plus 42 degrees, 1 minute, 46 seconds. This, of course, is also a Messier-class galaxy, number 63. Our next northy study is NGC 5036. It's a galaxy 56, NGC 5056, galaxy in Gamma Berenices. It is pretty obvious at magnitude 13.1, 1.8 by 1 arc minute, spy with a lowercase c, although that core looks kind of bright. Possibly this one, but it looks too faint. Let's go back here. We're looking for something 1.8 by 1 that qualifies, 254 million light years distant, RA 131612 with a declination of plus 30 degrees, 56 minutes and 58 seconds. NGC 5057 is a galaxy in Gamma Berenices, magnitude 13, 1.3 by 1.2 arc minute lenticular spiral with an annularity, and I do believe we are making out the frontier clearly. 267 million light years distant, RA 131627 with a declination of plus 31 degrees, 1 minute, 53 seconds. NGC 5065 is probably that faintish galaxy right there with a possible neighbor in Gamma Berenices, magnitude 13.6, 1.3 by 0.8 arc minute, spiral with bar lowercase cd, 255 million light years distant, RA 131730 with a declination of plus 31 degrees, 5 minutes, 33 seconds. Obviously, I've decided to grab everything magnitude of declination plus 30 degrees north and further. One of the advantages, of course, of getting northies first is we don't have to wait for the mount to traverse from further north to further south. We should be looking for a galaxy, and I do believe we're seeing it, 5074 galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 14.7 by 0.6 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase b, 257 million light years distant, RA 131825 with a declination of plus 31 degrees, 28 minutes, 7 seconds. However, we have to pick and choose between these two. This could be a magnitude, this one looks kind of faint. I suspect it's this galaxy or adventures in deepspace.com to get some visual references from Steve Gottlieb. NGC 5083 is a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 14.2. That's probably what it is, visual. 1.3 by 1.1 arc minute, spiral with a bar lowercase c. Just a very star-like core on a C-class morphological galaxy. 319 million light years distant puts this pretty large, maybe 125K. RA is 131903 with a declination of plus 39 degrees, 35 minutes, and 20 seconds. We're getting a little reflection from reflected light off a roof try, which validates this whole approach to capturing northies first. NGC 5089 is a galaxy with a very faint satellite passage there. Although it could be a meteor. It's got some variations in its brightness. Galaxy in Gamma Berenices, magnitude 13, 1.7 by 0.8, spiral with bar lowercase c. Well, a bright core for a lowercase c. 100 million light years distant means this is multiplying 100 times 1.7, you get 170. If it's 300 million light, if it were 3 arc minutes in diameter, it would be 100,000 light years in diameter, and that number would be 300, would be the index value. RA is 131939 with a declination of plus 30 degrees, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds. Okay, we may have captured this one earlier. It is getting some reflected light off a roof try. It's NGC 5093, galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 13.7, 1.4 by 0.7 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase a, brightest core, 320 million light years distant. RA 131937 with a declination of plus 40 degrees, 23 minutes, and 10 seconds. Compare the views if I did do it earlier. NGC 5096, not too bad for 33 degrees north this late in the evening. It's a galaxy with several other confreres in Canis Venatici. It's magnitude 15.1, so it's going to be one of these fainties. 1.2 by 0.9 arc minutes, so it's going to have a fairly low average surface brightness, maybe over here instead. When a spiral with a lowercase a, could be this one here. 528 million light years distant means it's quite large, maybe 180,000 light years in diameter. RA 132008, declination plus 330521. Backing out, let's see where it ends up. Yeah, not too bad in terms of centering. That may have been our NGC 5096. Well, this is interesting. There's a 5098A in the same field. You can see that we've shifted the view off to the north to capture this. It's a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 14.6. There's a very faint one there, but that's not likely to be it because it's likely to be photographic. So maybe here? 0.8 by 0.8 arc minute elliptical. Okay, so it should be roundish. Possibly this one here with a neighbor clinging to it. Boy, there's a group of 3 galaxies looking like a triple star system in Canis Venatici. 485 million light years distant, so maybe 120,000 light years in diameter. RA 132014 with a declination of plus 33 degrees, 8 minutes, 35 seconds. We have added another 10 minutes onto our right ascension, which is good because in the thick of Gamma Virgo group, we were only getting 2 to 3 over a century. So we are now in the outskirts of the Gamma Virgo filament of that supergalactic cluster, which is about 600 million light years in diameter and includes our own local group of galaxies. Okay, I'm going to recap just a little bit. NGC 5098A was a galaxy in Canis Venatici, elliptical 14.6. 5098B was a galaxy also in Canis Venatici, magnitude 14.8, 0.7 by 0.7 arc minutes, lenticular. And 5099 is a galaxy in Virgo. That will be our last view for the evening. Anyway, this has been a very interesting galaxy group right here. Numerous members. I recommend you have a look at theskylive.com for what would be the equivalent of a 120-inch eyepiece view taken at 150x over a 30 arc minute moon size field of view back in the early 1950s era by a Schmidt camera telescope using roughly 4 by 4 inch photographic plates, which are about much less sensitive than a CCD imager, but give finer views because they can be properly developed to give a nice dark background field of view. Also, to map all these galaxies out, go visit Steve Gottlieb at adventuresindeepspace.com. Now it's time for me to go on to the sequential series of galaxies in the 5050 to 5099 series. Because they won't be afflicted by the roof tribe reflections or by actual aperture block, which will happen later in the evening. But I do need to get through them, otherwise I could get an EQ flip, which will muck everything up. Well, there's probably a better than a 50-50 chance that this is NGC 5050. It's a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 13.7. Let's see if we can work it out. 1.1 by 0.4 arc minutes. So we're looking at something that looks kind of edgy on. That is qualifying. Let's see what kind it is. Spiral with a lowercase a. Yep, that has a brightish core to it. Let's push the magnification up to 100%, 150x. Frame a number of these galaxies in the field, referencing this bright star. Go to adventuresindeepspace.com to track it down, but my best candidate for 5050 is this galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 13.7, 1.1 by 0.4 arc minute, lenticular spiral A, 267 million light years distant, RA 131541 with a declination of plus 2 degrees, 52 minutes and 43 seconds. NGC 5051 is a deep south galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 13.2. This is my candidate for the time being. Let's push the magnification up. All right, let's see what clues we got here. Galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 13.2. So it's kind of on the limit for this far south, especially because it's minus 28 degrees, 17 minutes, 9 seconds. It's a spiral with a bar and a lowercase bc, which means it doesn't have that much of a core, but its size is 1.4 by 0.6 arc minutes. Okay, here's a faint galaxy without much of a core. Quite large, but I wouldn't expect to be able to see it this far south. 197 million light years distant. RA is 131620 with a declination, as mentioned, minus 28 degrees, 17 minutes, and 9 seconds. I'm going to give this a few seconds as I search for my next study. Okay, as I navigate north to NGC 5052, we have captured 15 stacks, and I do believe this is our NGC 50, I believe it was 5050. I'm moving north. Okay, we're getting reflected roof tri light, and this is for an NGC galaxy in comma parentheses, magnitude 13.2, 1.3 by 0.9 arc minute, spiral with bar, lenticular A, and an annularity. So I'm going to see this one as our candidate. We may have covered it before, but since it's less than 30 degrees north, I wanted to reduplicate it. Magnitude 13.2, 308 million light years distant, RA 131534 with a declination of plus 29 degrees, 40 minutes and 32 seconds. Okay, what say ye to this? What could it possibly be? Now I do remember seeing it at the eyepiece of a 6-inch scope on good occasions when I had a Maxitoff, 150 millimeter Maxitoff. This is NGC 5053, a globular cluster in comma parentheses. It's magnitude 9.8. It's hard to believe I actually was able to see this. Maybe I used averted, I don't know. It's 8.9 arc minutes in size. Its brightest stars are magnitude 13.8. So, wow, look at that. Its brightest stars are only 4 magnitudes fainter than the collective cumulative magnitude of this globular cluster as a whole. That would make it pretty close to a class 12, or it's a class 11, actually. 53,000 light years distant, RA 131626, with a declination of plus 17 degrees, 41 minutes, and 52 seconds. Personally, I believe that all galaxies began with globular clusters, but that has to be confirmed. NGC 5054 is a galaxy near a diffraction bar. Looks pretty bright to me. Indeed it is. In Virgo, magnitude 10.9, 5.1 by 2.8 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase bc, 83 million light years distant, makes us larger than our Milky Way, but of a similar morphological type. RA is 131658 with a declination of minus 16 degrees, 38 minutes, and 5 seconds. Pushing up the magnification, collecting all those photons, and there's a view without the diffraction grating in the field. NGC 5058 is a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 14.6, 0.8 by 0.7 arc minutes. Well, let's see if we can figure this one out. Spiral with a lowercase bc. This one's too bright of a core. Should be more towards the center of the field because it's further south. Okay, but it is 14. Oh, it's actually at plus 12 degrees. Okay, that works. All right, 0.8 by 0.7 arc minute spiral with a lowercase bc. That doesn't quite cut it, however. 49 million light years distance, so a nearby. Right ascension 131652 with a declination of plus 12 degrees, 32 minutes and 54 seconds. Let's see. If we back out, it should probably, because it's further north, should be in this region here, but it is a magnitude 14.6, so it wouldn't be initially visible, but the size is kind of small. Oh, here we go. 150X is probably one of these two galaxies right there. NGC 5059 is a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 15.5. Okay. There's some faint, fuzzy-looking things here all over the field. 0.9 by 0.2. Okay, so we're looking for something somewhat edgy, and that looks a little bit edgy to my eye right there. Spiral lowercase c. Yeah, it does have a core, but it looks a little brighter than I would expect. 654 million light years distance, so this one's probably somewhere around 200,000 light years in diameter. This one is taking on extensions with 8 stacks, so looking good. Right ascension 131658, declination plus 7 degrees, 50 minutes and 39 seconds. This would be a hard one to turn up in anything less than a 24-inch scope, but it would be interesting if Steve was able to turn it up into 17.5. NGC 5060 is a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 13.3, 1.1 by 0.8 arc minutes, spiral with a bar lowercase b. Probably not this edgy on, but look, 13.3, it should be fairly bright. And that one is, backing it out once again, seeing what, and it should be further to this direction because it's plus 6 degrees. Okay. All right, well, possibly something here. I'm going to push the magnification up to 100%, 150x. It's a galaxy in Virgo, spiral with a bar, lowercase b, 282 million light years distant, RA 131716 with a declination of plus 6 degrees, 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Well, maybe it's one of these galaxies here neighboring this bright E to the east. NGC 5061 is no doubt the brightest galaxy in the field. Let's see if it maps. Oh yeah, galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 10.4, 3.5 by 2.9 arc minute, elliptical 2, 85 million light years in diameter. So maybe 100,000 light years, and 85 million light years distant, 100,000 light years in diameter, RA 131805 with a declination of minus 26 degrees, 50 minutes and 12 seconds. NGC 5066, I'm not seeing it initially. Let's have a look around. It's a galaxy in Virgo. It's also 5069, magnitude 14.7 by 0.5. That doesn't, well, it's a spiral with a lowercase a. It does have a brightish core, but there's a little disturbance in it. It looks like it's got another galaxy embroiled. They usually say some kind of indications in the data set. of that occurring. 126 million light years distant, RA 131828 with a declination of minus 10 degrees, 14 minutes and 1 second. Are there any other candidates? I don't think so. Magnitude 14 could be a brighter galaxy visual, if indeed that is photographic. NGC 5068 is supposed to be a fairly bright galaxy in Virgo. We are seeing it, but it's extremely vague. Magnitude 10, but quite large, 7.3 by 6.4 arc minutes. Let me give that a quick calculation. So it should be about 4 magnitudes fainter, and average surface brightness, maybe magnitude 14, but it is further south. Spiral with a bar, lowercase c. The core is just beginning to reveal itself. 26 million light years distant, RA 131854, with a declination of minus 21 degrees, 2 minutes, and 20 seconds. Okay, we gathered a few more stacks. We're up to 11 on this, and I pushed the magnification up to 150. That's our best shot. NGC 5070, down with a diffraction bar, so we know it's further south. What a nice view of these galaxies. Look at that beautiful group. All right, let's see if we can pick one out. NGC 5070 is a galaxy in Virgo. It's also 5072. It's magnitude 14.5, 1 by 0.7 arc minute, and it is a lenticular spiral, 1 by 0.7, so roundish. This is a very bright galaxy here. I would expect it to be elliptical, but it could be a lenticular. 311 million light years distant. This is an SO, a lenticular. Right ascension 131912 with a declination of minus 12 degrees, 32 minutes and 24 seconds. This looks like it's a lenticular spiral here. Magnitude 14.5. I think we can go with this one, especially if these galaxies turn up a little bit later in our series. NGC 5071. Not a lot of candidates there. Maybe this one, or this one, or maybe this one. Galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 15.5, 0.4 by 0.2 arc minutes. Okay, so I'm thinking this one now. It's simply listed as a spiral, 597 million light years distant. If it's that far away, then it's probably got a fairly bright core, and that does. Right ascension is 131837 with a declination of plus 7 degrees, 56 minutes and 7 seconds. I'm going to frame this group up, and then I am going to push the magnification and leave it up to the fine astrophiles that are following this to go to adventuresindeepspace.com or the Sky Live and see if you can track down NGC 5071. Okay, looking at my counterweights right now, I would say whatever galaxy this is, and it might be this nice edge-on spiral, is culminating at this point. NGC 5073 is a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 13. Okay, now here's the key. 3.4 by 0.7 arc minutes in size with a spiral with a bar and a lowercase c. Okay, that tells me everything I need to know. 126 million light years distant means this is probably about 130,000 light years in diameter. Let's push it up a little bit, see if we can't exclude some of that diffraction grating light, get a look at its sphere of associates. We're at right ascension 131920 with a declination of minus 14 degrees, 50 minutes and 49 seconds. That's actually a pretty good view for minus 15 degrees declination. NGC 5075 is one of these fainter galaxies here in this group. They're all lined up, ready to be inspected. Galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 15.1, 1 by 0.7 arc minutes. However, it is an elliptical spiral, and it's probably brought by magnitude 13.5. I'm going to say this is my candidate. 291 million light years, RA 131906, declination plus 7 degrees, 49 minutes, 52 seconds. NGC 5076 is a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 13, 1.3 by 0.7 arc minutes. Anywhere in here. Spiral lowercase a, 135 million light years. RA, 131930. Declination minus 12, 4428. Go figure. Okay, this bright galaxy should be easier to determine what it is. It's a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 11.4, 1.9 by 0.6 arc minutes. Remember, we were going to figure on these. Maybe the last one was here. It's an elliptical class 3, 120 million light years, RA 131931, declination minus 123925. Pushing it up the magnification a little bit, centering them all up, and heading out. Okay, this one should be fun. It's NGC, afflicted by a diffraction bar. 5078, a galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 11, but it's 19.5 by 5.8 arc minutes in size. Backing it off a little bit. We're probably only seeing the core. It's a spiral with a lowercase a, 94 million light years distant. RA is 131949 with a declination of minus 27 degrees, 24 minutes, and 34 seconds. NGC 5079, it looks like this is a familiar group. It's probably this one now. Galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 12, 1.5 by 0.8. Spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, with peculiarities. I would say that's probably our galaxy. 123 million light years distant, RA 131938, declination minus 12, 41, and 57 seconds. This should be NGC 5080, a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 14.6, 1.2 by 1.1 arc minute elliptical. All right, there's an elliptical. RA is 131919 with a declination of plus 8, 25, 44. I am going to go and reposition just in case I mucked it up. Nope, did not muck it up. NGC 5080. NGC 5084. Could be that edgy on. Let's see. Galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 10.5. 10.6 arc minutes by 1.8 lenticular spiral, 77 million light years distant. This one's huge. I would say about 220,000 light years in diameter. Pushing up the magnification. Right ascension is 132016 with a declination of minus 21 degrees, 49 minutes, 40 seconds. A splendid view for that far south. NGC 5085 is a galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 11.3. Where could 85 be? Possibly here. Let's get the data. Spiral with lowercase c. Okay, 84 million light years distant. Right ascension 132017, declination minus 24 degrees, 26 minutes, and 23 seconds. Pushing up the magnification to 150x and heading out. NGC 5087. Make it easy on us if it's that one. And it is. Galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 11.4, 2.5 by 1.9 arc minutes. Aspect ratio is a little off, but it's an elliptical 4. 80 million light years distant, RA 132025, declination minus 20 degrees, 36 minutes, 39 seconds. NGC 5088 is a galaxy. I think we've seen this group before, but let's go ahead and assume it's further here. In Virgo, magnitude 12.4, 2.7 by 0.7 arc minutes. Okay. What type is it? Spiral, the bar, lowercase bc. That doesn't have much of a core there. This one has a little bit more here. 66 million light years distant, RA 132020 with a declination of minus 12, 34, 18. You pick it. NGC 5094, galaxy in Virgo. Magnitude 14, 1.1 by 0.3, simply listed as a spiral, 282 million light years distant. RA 132046, declination minus 14, 0451. Possibly this galaxy but it's simply listed as a spiral, hard to figure. It could be this one here as well, adventuresindeepspace.com. NGC 1595 is a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 13.7. Okay, let's pick and choose. 1.2 by 0.4 arc. Okay. Spiral with lowercase a, sure. 264 million light years, RA 132036, declination minus 2 degrees, 17 minutes, 24 seconds. Okay, we're already 30 minutes into this astro vid. Got a couple more to do. NGC 1597, Galaxy Virgo, magnitude 15.5 by 0.3 arc minute. It is a compact. Seeing something fairly compact there. 102 million light years distant, RA 132059, declination minus 12, 2817. Our final galaxy in the NGC 5000 century is NGC 5099. It's being diffractulated. Galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 14.7, 0.6 by 0.6 arc minute size, elliptical. Okay. 60 million light years distant, RA 132119, with a declination of minus 13 degrees, 2 minutes, 32 seconds. Let's see if we can pull up Messier 83. Okay, Messier 83 at 20% E-zoom 30x, beginning to show a little bit of nebulosity around its bright core. After 4 stacks, pushing the magnification up to 105x, we are beginning to make out the nebulosity with some distinction in its spiral arms. This is 6 stacks. Now, what we want to do is we want to give it a few moments. I'm going to give you the data, and then we're going to take a little break from it and see what we get after maybe 12 or 15 stacks. Messier 83, Galaxy Hydra, magnitude 7.5, 13 by 12.2 arc minutes, 15 million light years distant, RA 1337, with a declination of minus 29 degrees, 52 minutes and 4 seconds. We have now completed stack 12. This is not the best view at 5 seconds, but it's pretty decent. And with that, I'm going to say, Carpe Noctem.